Hi, I'm Donna. Kelsey, Taylor Swift's mother-in-law. The wedding was over. That's the part nobody tells you about. The ceremony, the vows, the tears, the I do's, everyone expects that. Everyone plans for that. Everyone shows up for that. But what happens after? After the cake is cut, after the champagne is poured, after the speeches are made and the dancing has started and everyone's feet are hurting and the band is playing their third encore, that's when the real moments happen. That's when people start to disappear, and that's exactly what happened with Taylor and Travis. I noticed it around 11 p.m. The reception was still going strong. Jason was on the dance floor with Kylie doing something that could generously be called dancing. Paul McCartney was in the corner with a glass of whiskey telling stories to anyone who would listen. Stevie Nicks had stolen the microphone from the band and was singing Landslide in a way that made everyone cry. But Taylor and Travis, gone. I looked around. I checked the dance floor. I checked the bar. I checked the garden, the one where I'd found Taylor earlier that day. Nothing, and then I saw it. A door at the end of the hallway that I hadn't noticed before. It was small and plain and unremarkable. The kind of door that's supposed to be ignored. But this door was slightly ajar. And I heard voices. I'm not a snoop. I've said that before and I'll say it again. But I'm a mother, and something about that moment, something about the way that door was just barely open, the way the voices were just barely audible made me walk closer. I didn't mean to listen, but I did, and what I heard changed everything. Travis, Taylor said, and her voice was tired, not tired in a bad way, tired in a we've been through so much today * way. I need to tell you something. I'm right here, he said, I'm always right here. No, she said, I need you to know, I need you to understand, I need you to know why I needed this, why I needed us, why I needed today. There was a pause, a long pause, and then I heard Travis's voice softer than I've ever heard it. Tell me. And Taylor said, and this is the part that made my heart stop, she said, because I thought I would die alone. I put my hand on the wall, I needed something to hold on to. I really thought it, she continued. I thought I was too much, I thought I was too loud, I thought I was too ambitious, I thought I was too complicated, I thought I was too famous, I thought I was too broken. I thought I was too everything, and I genuinely thought that I would end up alone. I heard her voice crack, and I was okay with it, she said. I had accepted it, I had made peace with it. I had decided that I would have my music and I would have my friends and I would have my career and that would be enough, that would have to be enough. She paused. Because I didn't believe I deserved more. Oh, my heart, I wanted to open that door. I wanted to walk in there and wrap my arms around her and tell her she was wrong, that she deserved everything, that she deserved love, that she deserved happiness, that she deserved my son, but I didn't. I stayed outside, I stayed quiet, I stayed still, and I listened. Taylor, Travis said, and his voice was so gentle, why didn't you tell me? Because I didn't know how, she said. Because I didn't think you'd understand, because I didn't think anyone could understand, because I've been so many things to so many people and I never knew how to just be Taylor, just the girl. Just the person who wants to be loved. Taylor, he said again, I don't want you to be anything else. I don't want the persona, I don't want the brand, I don't want the icon, I want *you. I want the girl who writes songs in the middle of the night because she can't sleep. I want the girl who eats French fries at 2 a.m. and pretends she doesn't. I want the girl who's scared and brave and messy and perfect. I want every single part of you, even the parts you think are too much. There was a long silence. I could hear breathing, I could hear movement, and then I heard Taylor speak again. I was so scared, she said. I was so scared that if I let myself be happy, it would all be taken away. I was scared that the universe was going to punish me for having this, for having you, for having everything I ever wanted. Taylor, he said, look at me. I couldn't see them, but I could imagine him reaching out. I could imagine him taking her face in his hands the way he does. I could imagine him making her look into his eyes. This is real, he said. This is happening. This is ours. Nobody is going to take it away, not the media, not the fans, not the universe, not anyone, because I won't let them. I won't let anything take this away. I won't let anything take you away. And then I heard her cry, not the pretty crying, not the delicate crying, the ugly crying, the kind that comes from deep in your soul, the kind that you can't control. The kind that's been building for years. I heard her sob into his chest. I heard him hold her. I heard him whisper to her. I couldn't make out the words, but I could hear the love in them. I could hear the devotion. I could hear the commitment. and then, after a long time, I heard her speak again. "Travis," she said, I love you so much it terrifies me. I love you in a way that I've never loved anyone. I love you in a way that I didn't think was possible. I love you in a way that makes me feel like I'm going to burst." "I know," he said. "I feel the same way. I've felt that way since the night I saw you at my show. I've felt that way since the night you came to my game. I've felt that way since the first time I heard you laugh. I love you more than I've ever loved anything, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life proving it to you." There was more movement, more rustling, and then I heard Taylor's voice again, quieter this time, but somehow stronger. "I locked us in this room," she said, "because I needed to tell you something. I needed to tell you that I'm scared. I needed to tell you that I'm broken. I needed to tell you that I'm still healing. I needed to tell you that I'm not the perfect bride everyone thinks I am. I needed to tell you that I'm just a girl who's been hurt so many times that she forgot how to trust." "Taylor," Travis said, "I need you to know," she continued, "that I'm going to mess up. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to have bad days. I'm going to be difficult. I'm going to be distant sometimes. I'm going to be too much. I'm going to be not enough. I'm going to be everything in between, and I need you to know that now before it happens, so you can decide if you really want this." And then I heard Travis laugh, not a mean laugh, not a dismissive laugh, a laugh of pure, unadulterated joy. "Taylor," he said, "I already know all of that. I've known it from the beginning. I know you're messy. I know you're complicated. I know you're difficult. I know you have bad days. I know you have trust issues. I know you're healing. And I love you anyway. I love you because asterisk of all of it. I love you because you're real. I love you because you don't pretend. I love you because you're the most human person I've ever met, and everyone thinks you're a goddess." She laughed, a wet, teary laugh, but a laugh. "Travis," she said, "you're ridiculous." "I'm yours," he said, "that's what I am, I'm yours." And then I heard them kiss, not the kind of kiss you do in public, not the kind of kiss you do for cameras, the kind of kiss you do when you're alone. The kind of kiss that says everything words can't say. I started to back away from the door. I knew this moment wasn't for me. I knew I shouldn't have been listening, but I was grateful. I was so grateful that I'd heard it, because now I understood. Now I understood why Taylor had locked herself in that room with Travis. Now I understood why they'd been gone for 3 hours. Now I understood why she'd needed to be alone with him. She needed to tell him the truth. She needed to tell him that she was scared. She needed to tell him that she was broken. She needed to tell him that she was healing. She needed to tell him that she was human, and he needed to hear it. He needed to know that he wasn't marrying a perfect woman. He needed to know that he was marrying a real one, and he needed to promise her that he was okay with that. I walked back toward the reception. The party was still going. Jason was still dancing. Kylie was still laughing. Stevie was still singing, and nobody knew where Taylor and Travis were. Nobody knew they were in that tiny room having the most important conversation of their lives. Nobody knew that Taylor was finally letting herself be seen. Nobody knew that Travis was finally getting to see her. All of her, the good parts, the bad parts, the messy parts, the broken parts, the scared parts, the brave parts, all of her. And he loved it all. He loved it all. And I absolutely knew that they were going to be okay, because they'd done the hard thing. They'd done the scary thing. They'd done the thing that most couples never do. They'd told each other the truth, and they'd chosen each other anyway. 3 hours later, they came back to the reception. Taylor's eyes were red. Her makeup was smudged. Her hair was falling out of its perfect style, and she was glowing. She was glowing with the kind of happiness that comes from being truly seen. Travis had his arm around her, and his eyes were red too, and they walked back into that room full of people, and nobody asked where they'd been. Nobody asked what they'd done. Nobody asked why they'd been gone so long, but I knew. I was standing by the door, and I watched them come in, and I saw the look that passed between them, and I knew. I knew that Taylor Swift had locked herself in a room with Travis Kelce for 3 hours at her wedding, and I knew why. Because she needed to tell him that she was scared. Because she needed to tell him that she was broken. Because she needed to tell him that she was healing. Because she needed to tell him that she was human. Because she needed to know that he still wanted her. Because she needed to know that he still chose her. And he did, and I'm the only one who knows why. I'm the only one who knows what they said. I'm the only one who knows what happened in that room. I'm the only one who knows the truth, and the truth is this. Taylor Swift locked herself in a room with Travis Kelce for 3 hours at her wedding, not because she was hiding. Not because she was avoiding anyone, not because she was having second thoughts, because she was having first thoughts. The first real thoughts she'd ever had about being loved. The first real thoughts she'd ever had about being seen. The first real thoughts she'd ever had about being chosen. And she wanted to share them with him. Because she absolutely knew that he was the only one who would understand, and he did. He understood everything. And that's why I'm telling you this now, because someone needs to know, because someone needs to understand, because someone needs to see the truth. And I'm the only one who was there, I'm the only one who saw it, I'm the only one who heard it. I'm the only one who knows why, and now you know too.